Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Zakia and I am the creator of Y.O.L.O.Mommie. Today I wanted to show you how I created my glitter stripe tumbler. I tried to make this tutorial as painless as possible. We're going to be using the 2-in-1 cup edging tool, some Arteza acrylic paints, and Glitters by Peachy Olive Glitter. We're going to finish our cup off by using a stickercal / decal. It's a sticker decal combination that I purchased from Banff Custom Creations. All the materials in this video will be listed in the description down below. So if you like this video and you want to see more videos like it, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and let me know in the comments what type of videos you'll like to see on this channel. So y'all know what to do. Let's get into it. You want to start with a fully sanded and prepared cup. I'm using a 20-ounce straight cup from Dope and Crafty. You'll see me just measuring out the length of the cup. We want to take that and divide it by the number of stripes we're going to have. So we want to have 5 stripes on this cup. So we're going to divide the total length of the cup by 5. And then I'm going to just use my ruler here. And I've kind of marked off exactly where I need the line. So you'll just see me, marking off 5 spaces. And this is where we'll have our stripes. Using the tick marks that we created on the tumbler, we're going to draw our lines. I'm using a tool that I purchased from Amazon. I have it linked in the description below. It's an edging tool, and it's also a tool to help you draw lines at different heights on a tumbler. So I'm just going to take my cup and kind of drag it towards the lead of the pencil in a circular motion to create a line on the cup. I'm going to do this 5 times for each of the tick marks that we drew on the cup. Now that we have our lines drawn on the cup, we want to mask off 2 sections of the cup, so we'll have 3 parts that we're working with. The tape that I'm using is a 1-inch masking tape. Using the lines as a guide, we want to just mask off 2 of those sections, so we'll only be left with 3 sections that we're going to use to paint. Okay, now that we have our 2 sections masked off, we want to prepare our cup for glittering. I am using Figgy, Vintage, and Firefox for the 3 sections that we're going to do first, along with some Arteza acrylic paint. This paint is very good for base coating. You don't have to use a lot of paint. A little goes a long way. After you have painted all 3 sections, you want to just let the paint dry for about 20 to 30 minutes. I'm a little bit impatient, as you can see. I didn't wait the whole 30 minutes, and some of my paint came off when I removed the tape. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back in with my acrylic paint and then just paint those sections over again, just the spaces that I missed. You see me just go in with each color and just fill in those areas that was lifted when we removed the tape. All right, now that we have touched up our paint that we pulled up with our tape, we just want to color in our next two sections. I'm using the Arteza paint again, just two different colors of pink. After I'm done painting those two colors, I'm just going to go back in and fill in any areas on the cup that we missed paint. I'm just going to go back in and try to touch those areas up really quickly. And then you want to let that dry on the tumbler for about 30 minutes. We want to do 30 minutes so that way once we put down the tape and mask off those sections for glittering, we don't pull up any of the paint that we have already applied on the cup. Again, I'm using that purple masking tape. The tape is slightly sticky, so this way once we remove the tape, it won't pull up any of our paint, especially if we let it dry the whole time that we're supposed to let it dry. Now that we have those two sections masked off again and we have our base coats painted, we want to prepare our cup for glitter. I am going to be using the epoxy method to apply the glitter. I have prepared about 5 milliliters of epoxy. I'm probably going to be using only about less than 1 milliliter of epoxy on the whole 3 sections. The first color that I will be using is the vintage color. I'm starting from the top of the cup instead of the bottom because I don't want that glitter to migrate down to the bottom of the cup once we start glittering. So I want to make sure that I'm keeping my cup at an angle to make sure that we try to contain the glitter in just this one section. We also want to make sure that we have enough glitter on the cup so we have full coverage. And once you finish applying your glitter, we just want to tap off all the excess glitter before we move on to the next section. Once we have all 3 sections glittered, you want to remove the tape from around the cup. Set an alarm, write it down, take a picture, do whatever you need to do to remember to remove that tape. Because we're using the epoxy method, we don't want to leave that tape on because it will dry on the cup. After my cup has dried, I went ahead and sprayed it with Rustoleum clear gloss spray to kind of seal in that glitter. Once that dried, you'll see me here just kind of taping off each of the 3 sections of the cup to prepare for glittering the next 2 sections of the cup. Just as we did before, we're going to be using the epoxy method to glitter these 2 sections of the cup. I am using Sis and Firefox. Both glitters are from Peachy Olive Glitters. I think that these 2 colors pair well with the 3 colors that we already have on the cup. Now that we have our cup fully glittered, you want to go ahead and remove that tape and place your cup in an area where it can dry for about 2 to 3 hours. Once your cup has dried, you want to spray it with the Rustoleum 2x clear gloss spray to seal in your glitter. This way we can avoid the glitter migrating to different sections once we go to epoxy the cup. If you notice that once you remove the tape that some of the areas aren't fully glittered, don't worry about it. We'll take care of that with our vinyl strips. Now our cup is ready to be epoxy. I have prepared about 30 milliliters of epoxy, and you'll see me here just epoxying the cup. I'm starting at the top in our lighter sections of glitter. Once my cup had dried, I went back in and epoxied my cup for a second time just to make sure when I started to sand my cup, I didn't sand down on my glitter. You'll see me here just scraping the edge of the cup, the top rim of the cup. Sometimes I find it easier for me to sand around the rim if I kind of get some of that nasty stuff from around it first. So you'll see me here just kind of scraping away some of that old paint and epoxy from around the rim of the cup. Make sure you have a very sharp craft knife when you're doing this, but be very, very careful. You don't want to cut yourself when you're doing this. Just make sure that you're kind of doing it away from your hand. Now your cup is ready for sanding. I'm using a 60 grit sanding block. I prefer to use the sanding blocks because it's easier for me to use than the regular sanding paper. You can use whatever grit and whatever type of sanding paper. I'm just going around the cup with my sanding block, sanding any kind of little pokey bits that's sticking out. You want to make sure that you go around the rim of the cup to expose some of the rim. So when we go to do our final coats of epoxy, the epoxy has something to adhere to. As you can see, I'm just sanding around the bottom. The bottoms of the cup seems to be a little bit rougher. So just make sure you show that bottom some love. Once you have finished sanding your cup, you want to rinse the cup with dish soap and water and just dry it off with a paper towel. I have already started applying my vinyl strips here. I prepared these vinyl strips in Cricut. If you would like to see how I created these vinyl strips, please let me know in the comments below. I just simply used the shape features in Design Space and created these. I put out the square shape and I sized them to 11.5 by 0.25, and that's how I created the strips. Make sure that all of your vinyl strips are meeting in the back of the cup. You'll see me here just aligning my vinyl strips along the line, and where they meet up in the back, I'll just pull it across the back where the seams meet. You'll see me pressing my nail down to create that seam. So when you cut, you just want to overlap that vinyl to make sure that you don't have any gaps in the vinyl. After all my vinyl strips are laid down, I didn't video record this, but I went ahead and I covered my entire cup in Counterculture's DIY Quick Coat. I wanted to make sure that my vinyl strips didn't bubble up or lift up during epoxy. I coated my cup in quick coat and let it dry for about 45 minutes. Once the quick coat had dried, I went ahead and epoxied my cup as normal. I left my cup on the turner for about 4 to 6 hours before I moved on to the next step. It depends on the type of epoxy that you're using. I'm using the Y.O.L.O.Mommie quick coat formula, so it takes less time than the normal epoxy. Okay, now it's time to add our decal. The decal that I'm using today, I purchased from Banff Custom Creations. I'll have the information linked below. This is one of their transparent sticker cals, and because it's transparent, I didn't want the glittered lines to show behind the decal. So what I did was I just kind of traced out the same shape using my Cricut and cut it out on some vinyl. So I'll place the vinyl down first and then I'll place the sticker cal over it. These sticker cals are so easy to use. You don't have to worry about vinyl or anything like that. They come already designed, so you just use them just like you would any sticker and just place them on your tumblers. Now that my decals are on and my cup is ready to go, I prepared about 25 milliliters of Y.O.L.O.Mommie's Amazing Clear Cast Plus to my cup. This particular cup took 2 final coats before it was complete. I let my cup spin for about 8 to 12 hours. I'm just loving the way that this turned out. All of the colors are giving me the fall vibes. This one is a beauty. If you like this video and you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe and follow. Thanks for watching.